Hey everybody, welcome to this week's cruise Q&A. And my goodness, so much stuff has happened this week. So much stuff has just happened today. Apologies, I was about 20 seconds late, but I forgot the dreamies. And I know you guys wouldn't forgive me if I didn't at least try and get Hudson on this live stream. I'm not sure if he's going to. I think he's outside. But I've done my bit. I'm trying. Hello to everybody who is in the chat. Loads of names I recognize. Loads of people here hours early, as always. Marcus in here 2 hours early every single time, followed by Sean. Always you guys. I thank so much. The fact that you come to these live streams, I appreciate that. Anyway, the fact that you're ready hours early blows my mind. Blows my mind. Loads of you guys in here early having a chat. Hello to Sam. Hello to BC. Hello to Lou. Lou says he's catching the replay of Tony and Jenny doing their monthly mail live. So they open all of the posts that they get live on their YouTube channel. And I sent them a Christmas card and they just opened it. I sent it 10th of December, I think. And they just got that now. So they've got their Hudson sticker and their Hudson Christmas card, which at this point in March, probably better save just for next year, I think. Hello to Bill, who is in here. Hello to Stephen. Bill says, do we think Captain Hudson will make an appearance today? I don't know where he is. Hudson. I can hear him coming down from upstairs. Hudson, I've got dreamies for you. Come on then. Come on. Dreamies, Hudson. It works so unbelievably well. Hudson, look, there's dreamies up here. He was probably fast asleep and he heard the dreamy call in his sleep. Hudson, your dreamies are up there, okay? Up here, look. Hudson, 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 look this way. You're not the smartest thing, are you? Dreamies? Up there. Can you see them? There we go. There's Hudson for you. Sometimes I wonder about him. They're up there, Hudson. Look. Hudson. Yeah. You can get those. There we go. There's Hudson. Hello to Randy, who is in here. Hello to my mum and dad are in the chat. Hello, Charlie. Hello to Tony. Yeah, so the biggest news today, probably the biggest cruise news, I hope it's the biggest piece of cruise news, is that there was a fire on board the MSC Lyrica, and it was in Corfu. The cruise ship hasn't been sailing since before the coronavirus pandemic, so luckily there weren't passengers on board. There were 51, I've heard, crew members on board, and nobody was hurt by the fire, thankfully. So I've heard that the fire started in a lifeboat. How a fire starts in a lifeboat, I don't really understand, but apparently that's what it was. Are you happy now, Hudson? Yes, he might wander off now. Or you can sit on my lap if you want. No, he's just going to sit there to the side. So yeah. Oh, he's actually going to sit. He's actually going to stay with us. So the biggest cruise news of the day is this fire. It looks like it's done a lot of damage to the cruise ship, to the MSC Lyrica, but nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. And yeah, we'll find out how it happened, I suppose, at some point. But for now, the main thing is that nobody was hurt. But it did look very dramatic. It was big black clouds of smoke. Yeah, not good, not good. I have some comments in here and I need to mention it. My friend Sean, for those of you who don't know, I don't know how to tell you over YouTube Live. I've spent all day thinking about how there's no words to say something like this on YouTube Live. But my friend Sean did pass away last weekend. And I know loads of you loved Sean as much as I did. Watch the videos from the Sean and Steph YouTube channel. They're absolutely fantastic. You can see them on P&O cruises. You can see them on Royal Caribbean cruises, having the best time ever. And I think that's a great way to keep Sean's memory alive. I've put a link to the Celebration of Life Fund that is being raised to do a big party thing for Sean. So if you do want to donate, that's pinned in the comments. But yeah, that's the biggest news for me this week. Sean, for those of you who don't know, a year ago, he got diagnosed with a pancreatic cancer. He was given 3 months to live and he survived for a year. He did amazingly, but he suffered more than anyone should ever have to suffer. It was awful. So I'm comforted, at least I find it comforting that he's not in that pain anymore, but absolutely awful. And there's literally just no words. So yeah, if you have sent any nice messages, if you've donated, if you've watched any of their videos, thank you so much to you guys, because Sean loved you all so much. So I appreciate you. You've all been lovely. And even Hudson has stayed here. We've got the corner of a Hudson. There he is. Marcus says it's past sunset here, darkness already. It's actually okay here. We've still got a little bit of sunshine, which is absolutely amazing. Things are getting better. Sean says, just a reminder, if you have a question for Emma, start it with question. Yes, that makes it so much easier for me to see what is a question, as opposed to the comments, which aren't really questions. I still appreciate them, but I don't have to reply to the ones that just say potato. As much as I like them, it just helps me to pick out the questions. I'm apologies if I miss your questions or your comments. I'm trying my best to get through them. I haven't even caught up to live time yet. There are some comments in here about Morgan from Morgan's Very Unofficial Travel Guides. He is in the Canary Islands, I believe, going off on another cruise. He is a lucky, lucky man. So envious of him. We have had some good news, I suppose, here in the UK. The government has said that we can cruise from May 17th. None of the cruise lines are ready to cruise May 17th, but it is a good sign that they're not going to be held back by the government. Most of them are planning on doing kind of British Isles itineraries, maybe with ports, maybe with no ports. We don't even know yet, but they will be announced soon. I think P&O are announcing them next week. We don't know which ships they're using, so that will be really exciting. I'm hoping to get some short breaks over the summer. At least then I can just remember why I love cruising, do some ship tours, do some stuff like that. So hopefully. It's very strange for Hudson to sit on the side like a little parrot. We've got people in here who are good morning, people who are good evening, people from all over the world. We've got Patty Ann is in Sweden. We've got people from everywhere. How is your day going, says Edward. My day is going pretty well, actually. I got up today and I filmed a YouTube video about Easy Cruise, which is very, very interesting. I think I've learned a lot researching this video, and I hope you guys do like it. And then all of this stuff happened with the MSC fire. So luckily I could just tell everybody when that happened. No more waiting for 5 p.m, which was so good. Managed to get some cruise news out actually as it happened, which was really nice. John says, hi, MRC P&O are announcing their UK cruise schedule next week. Yes, they are. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to cruise on the newest cruise ship, Iona, but I don't know that P&O will use Iona for these itineraries. They might do, but they're not going to want to have their newest, most exciting cruise ship linked with any kind of, if anything goes wrong on there, they're really not going to want that. So whether they'll use that or not, I'm not sure. Thank God still hasn't got his Christmas card. Well, I don't know if at this point in mid-March we decide that that's not a thing and I send you something else instead. Maybe I have your address. Maybe I will do that. Thank God is one of my Patreons, and I sent Christmas cards about the 10th of December to my Patreons. Some of them have just arrived. So yeah, maybe we give up on that now. I feel like 3 months is quite a long time. I mean, if that's the only one that didn't get there, I sent so many of them. So sorry about that, thank God. But maybe I'll just make you a different card for Easter or something. Or maybe next Christmas and I'll send it now and we'll get it. Dreamies, Hudson. Everyone loves Hudson. I love Hudson too. He's a sweetie. Sometimes I do wonder what's going on inside his brain, but I love him loads. Hello to Karen, who says hi to Emma and Hudson. Sorry, by the time that I got to this comment, Hudson has already left, but I will let him know that you say hi. We have Dreamies. We don't want Hudson to make that face again. Yeah, I was on TikTok the other day, and there's a filter to make your cat look grumpy on TikTok because, of course, I find it funny that, I don't know, when the internet was invented, did they think that it would be used for, on a phone to make a cat look grumpy? And then I shared it to a Facebook group and I made a joke about that's what Hudson looks like when he doesn't have dreamies. It was very cute. Got my smartphone connected to a 48-inch television. Am I on a 48-inch television? Because if I am, that's absolutely terrifying. And I hope it looks okay on a 48-inch television. Hello to John, who says, hi, folks. Hello to Pidgey, who says, Hudson. Hudson is gone now, I'm sorry. How old is Hudson? Hudson is roughly 6 years old. We don't really know because he's an adopted cat and I don't know when he was born, but roughly 6. He was roughly, well, maybe he's 7 even. I don't know. He's a proper adult cat. He knows who he is, but he's still got a lot of energy. He still loves playing with cat toys and stuff. Mike says, our cat Foxy has been asleep all afternoon. Classic cats. Thank you so much, Orkney Parrots. That's an amazing username. For your super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do too, watching my videos. It would be not fun at all if I just sat here by myself. I can't believe how long we've been doing these live streams for. We've been doing them since March now, I think. So yeah, a year of live streams pretty much. I saw we have Matt from Royal Caribbean blog in here. Thank you, Matt. If you missed my chat with Matt from Royal Caribbean blog, we have a chat on my channel. All of the live streams I do are available forever, so you can watch them. We've got so many because we've been doing this for a year now. So many. Hello to my friend Patrick, who is in here. Darren says, question, when do you expect Arvia to go on sale? So Arvia is the newest P&O cruise ship, and I'm not sure yet. I think it's too early for that. I think P&O have their hands full at the minute trying to get this summer sorted out. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I don't think it'll be yet. Tony says, do you know what cruises will be going out of the UK? At the moment, we're expecting cruises from Princess, P&O and Cunard. They're all doing British Isles itineraries, short itineraries. At the moment, we don't know what the itineraries are. We don't know if they're going to have ports. They may be cruises to nowhere at some point, but they're the 3 cruise lines that have come out and said that they're going to be doing that this summer. And we're excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. P&O are announcing it next week. Not sure when Princess are, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be soon. And it's going to be crazy. If anyone is from the UK and you want to book one of these cruises, you can get a quote through emmacruises.com. A bit of self-promotion there because it's going to be crazy. When these go live, it's going to be absolutely mad. Kathy says, hi, and question, what do you like best about working for yourself now? I mean, today when this news came out about the MSC ship, I was able to film a 20-second clip and put it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and then find out what happened and reply to comments. Whereas normally I'd be waiting till 5 p.m. before I could say anything. And it was amazing. I woke up today and I wanted to get up and I wanted to do the work that I did today. And it was so unbelievably good. Hudson is not next to me right now, but probably when you type that comment, he was. Daniel says, thumbs up. Yeah, if you can give this video a thumbs up, it makes YouTube happy. And YouTube being happy makes me happy. Are you going to book Celebrity Apex when you can? I don't have any plans to book on Apex. I was supposed to be on Apex last February, or maybe later in the year. I can't remember. It was just before or just after coronavirus went crazy and the trip was cancelled, but I was supposed to be on a press kind of trip. And I really wanted to because I've never been on Edge either. So it's a new type of ship for me. Oh no, I put my squash like too far away. Got it. And I filled it up too much. We've got Vimto today. Aviation Gaming says, should I be worried about my cruise being cancelled on board the Carnival Elation? Yes, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the US is doing, to be honest with you. I'm really not confident. I think, I mean, even for the UK, I think, I mean, does this question doesn't say when, does it? Am I reading it wrong? I completely, for some reason, I read that as August. There's no time there, is there? Oh, I read these questions and I merged them together. So this one's easier because I have an actual month. So do you think Carnival Horizon will sell in August? Probably not. I think it's quite unlikely. I think we might see some cruises by then if we're lucky, but it's going to be a couple of ships. And if that's that ship, I'm not sure. Sorry, that's probably not the answer that you want, but I don't want to lie or give you any false hope. So I would say probably not. Matt says, Emma, I booked my flights to England this summer. That is very, very exciting. Hopefully England will be letting people in by then. I'm sure they will be. The plan is to get things better a lot faster now. So hopefully things will be rolling out fast and getting better fast. Captain Birdseye says, question, is Easy Cruise the same company as EasyJet? Yes, it is. And it's a really interesting story. I don't think many people have ever heard of it. It's the cheapest cruise line that's ever existed. It doesn't exist anymore. And my next YouTube video is it's the story of why they came up with that crazy idea, how people reacted to the crazy idea, and the downfall, and why we don't have it now, I suppose, is the question. So that's the next YouTube video, probably be out Sunday, I think, because I did put a YouTube short up today just about the fire. And I try just to spread out the YouTube videos. I've done 2 today, so maybe we'll wait until Sunday and gives me some more time to edit it. Any cruises ready to sail out of Miami? No. Is the easy answer to that one? No, not at all. Joyce is in Florida. Hello to Joyce. Hello to Simon from Plymouth. Simon and Julie, hello. Rob says, a celebration of life is a great way to do it. Yeah, I'm leaving everything like that to Steph to organize. She has got it all planned out. It's going to be really amazing. But she will tell you more about it closer to the time. Sean says, do you think Royal Caribbean will join Princess on British Isles cruises? I don't know, you know. I had my Royal Caribbean cruise cancelled, and I can't believe I look so happy saying that a cruise is cancelled. But I've waited for this cruise to be cancelled for at least probably 6 months now, because it hasn't looked like it's going to happen for ages. And they finally cancelled it. And what I've wanted to do for ages is just lift and shift it to next year. And they got rid of lift and shift, so I couldn't do it. So I had to wait it out till they cancelled it. And now I have lifted and shifted it till next year. It does feel a bit silly that I had to wait when, you know, there was no chance this cruise was going to happen because it's a cruise to Norway. Norway wasn't letting anybody in, so it wasn't going to happen. But I have got the outcome that I wanted. I have lifted and shifted it till next year. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with my choice. It's a lot more expensive next year at the moment to book the same cruise for next year. So I feel like I've got a bargain. I got a really good price. I booked a balcony. I booked a balcony because it's Norwegian fjords. And I feel like some places just deserve a balcony. So I did do that. But I'm happy with my choice. I wish I could have just done it months ago. I knew what I wanted. Top private tours say greetings from South America, Penguin Zone. Hello, Penguin Zone. That sounds very, very cool. How are you finding adjusting to full-time work on your channel? It feels just like I have a week off work. Whenever I've had a week off work before, I just work on cruise-related things. So it just feels to me like I'm on holiday from my day job. And in a couple of weeks, I will realize I don't have to go back, and it will be fabulous. It's absolutely amazing. I've got so much more done. I've put so many new blog posts on my website this week. I have been planning a course. I'm doing a course for a company called Income School. I won a contest with them, and the prize was pretty much a job contract. So I've moved on to that, and I'm making a course for them about Patreon. So I've been planning that. I did some consultations yesterday, which was really fun. I do consultations on cruise related things and also YouTube related things now, which is really fun. So if you want an hour with me, you can book that, an hour Zoom chat. Loads of things I've got done. I've got extra YouTube videos done this week. It's absolutely amazing. Hopefully I can keep it up forever because I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, it's really, really good. Thank you so much for asking that, because yeah, it's nice. David says he just wants a cruise, any cruise to sail from a US port. I'd say maybe be careful what you wish for, because I'm sure there's some cruises that you wouldn't want to take. But maybe right now we're up for the kind of Viking ships. We don't even mind. Doesn't even need to have rooms. We'll just cruise maybe. Hudson needs a cat tree that looks like a crow's nest from a ship. He has got the most amazing cat tree. So normally the cat scratching post thing, he's got a scratching post, not a tree. He doesn't fit on any of the trees. I have tried them before, but normally the scratching post is like this high. I don't know if you can see. And I've got a double height one because he's so unbelievably tall. And I found it just in a charity shop. I was just walking around town. It was there for £5, and that's one of the best £5 that I've ever spent. It's just sitting in the corner of my room, and it's great. Hudson does still scratch the carpets. I really want to get new carpets in my house because mine are threadbare. But what is the point? Husband's just going to scratch them, so I haven't. Julie says, that was my first thought, and then the thought of having to pay for every meal. I'm not sure what we're talking about here, but talking about the easy cruise, there's no food on that. There's a cruise without food. Crazy. Question, has your grandma got her COVID vaccinations and ready to cruise? Yes, she had her second vaccination today. So she is totally vaccinated. She's totally ready to cruise. She will cruise anywhere. I wonder if maybe she will do one of the Cunard short cruises because she loves Cunard. So maybe we'll do that. That sounds good. Oh, interesting. Captain Birdseye says, my contact who works at Carnival said Iona will be one of the first ships to go on a UK cruise. That would be really cool, and I would love that. It makes sense to use bigger ships because the ship's not going to be at full capacity, so they're going to make more money if they do a bigger ship. But I just wonder about Iona because Iona is so new, so exciting. She's been waiting the cruise for pretty much a year. Nothing should go wrong. Nothing should go wrong. But you know how things go. Are they going to want that risk? Oh no, Lou said he never got his Christmas card either. I'll have to put you with Thank God on my Easter list, and I'll send you to. I'll check your addresses though, just in case I got them wrong. I think I have them right, but I'll message you guys after this. Ladybug77 says, hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, Roger is in here from Arizona. Arizona, very nice. Oh, Trevor has a very good question. I like this one. If you had a choice between a world cruise on your favorite ship, sounds good, or a week 5-star charter on a super yacht, both cost the same, which would you prefer? World cruise, hands down. I would feel too much pressure if I spent too much money on a cruise. If I, it doesn't make me happier if something's more expensive. It makes me happier if I've paid almost nothing for it. That's what makes me happy. If I had a week to really enjoy myself, I can't enjoy myself that much in a week. And the pressure, if you have a headache or something, even a migraine for one afternoon, and then you're wasted thousands of pounds, I couldn't deal with that. I would always prefer just more cruise, please, I think. I mean, I'd love to charter a super yacht, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't know what to do, though, when I chartered a super yacht. I'd be like, what are you guys, like, the people on there, I wouldn't know what to tell them to do, or it will be really strange. So I'd go on the world cruise, I think. That's a really good question, Trevor. I like that one. Scott C is in here. Hello, Emma and all. Hello, Scott C. Question about my Carnival cruise being cancelled. I think I'm repeating the same question. There we go. There we go. Apologies. I have not too many comments. I love all your comments, but sometimes it just gets a little bit stuck. Your stream is on a 4K 75-inch TV in the lounge room. Oh my goodness. I don't think you should be allowed to see my face bigger than my actual face is. Like, that's so weird. Bert says, do you always cruise alone? I very, very rarely cruise alone. Very, very rarely. I don't, not really. How many countries have you visited in total through cruising? I don't know. I haven't kept track of that. I keep track of cruises. I'm on 34 cruises. I don't keep track of countries, though. Probably quite a lot through all my cruises. Sometimes I go back to the same one twice. Sometimes you're only there for a little bit. I suppose it still counts. But I don't know, actually. I don't know. Maybe I should know. Oh, Tom says Emma's on a 65-inch TV here. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Creepy. Oh, David had a tooth out and he's resting. Oh, sorry to hear that, David. Hope you're okay. That is not fun. Anything dental, not fun. Oh, Julie says, I have my super senior cat on my lap at 14 plus, are classed as super senior. That means my last cat made it to become a super senior. She was pretty old. 14 I don't think that's that old for a cat. I don't think so. Lots of conversations about moving on a TV. Oh, gosh. John says, question, P&O cruises, have you noticed how much their prices have gone up for a 2022 cruise? Every cruise line, when you look at 2022 now, the prices have gone up and they're expensive, which is why I have lifted and shifted my Royal Caribbean cruise and my Princess cruise to kind of lock in that rate. I think towards the end of last year, 2022 was quite cheap, and now it really has gone up. I would just, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they came down closer to the time. I think there's a lot of uncertainty right now. People are shifting around. People have got credit. It's very, very, very strange. I don't see any harm if you book a cruise for 2021 that you know or you don't think is going to happen. So say for me, for example, if I booked a cruise, I can still book some cruises in kind of May or June, which are very, very unlikely to happen. If I booked that from the UK, it's cancelled. Oh no, I expected that. Just shift the price to next year. It's a really good way to get a cheaper cruise. Really feels sneaky. It may go ahead, maybe, but worst case scenario, you have to go on a cruise. So what is your experience in Independence of the Seas and the inside cabins, and what are your thoughts on the renovation? So I cruised on Independence of the Seas. I spent 5 nights on board during the school holidays. It was absolutely manic, kids everywhere. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I stayed in an inside cabin. It's not one of my favorite inside cabins at all. It was really bizarre because it had the bed, like to get around the side of the bed, you had to jump. You couldn't walk around the side of the bed. There was a strange curtain in the middle, a tiny little sofa thing. And one of the things I noticed when they did the renovation, I don't think that they changed the cabins. And yeah, I don't know. It was not one of my favorites. I mean, it was fine. It was perfectly clean and functional. And the things I didn't like about it, it would be the same in all of the cabins. It's just not one of my favorites. You previously made a video about why you picked your Princess cruise. With all the changes, has your choice changed? It has not changed. My latest YouTube video that I just put out a couple of days ago talks about what I have done with that Princess cruise, and I have just moved it because I still want to do that cruise. And when the short itineraries come out, I will book them again. I'm still 100% sure Princess cruise is fabulous. Any known causes for the MSC Lyrica fire? No, not at the moment. It says it started in a lifeboat. How it starts in a lifeboat, I don't know. Cheeky question. What are the advantages of booking via emmacruises.com? You just get to use my agent that I've used to book my last 4 or 5 cruises. Her name's Emma, and she's absolutely fantastic. It helps me out. We work together now. And for example, yesterday, she spent over an hour on the phone to P&O for me, sorting out all of this stuff. And I don't have to do it because she's done it all for me, and it's fabulous. She makes booking cruises so dangerously easy. I just send her an email. I send her a message on Facebook. Can you quote me this? It appears on the website for me. I can book it. I can not book it. But so far, every time I have booked it. So yeah, if you want to book a cruise, it's a good way. UK people only at the moment. Sarah says, hey, Emma, hope you are doing good. Hello, Sarah. I had the pleasure of talking to Sarah recently. She has joined my Patreon tier where we do Zoom calls, so I can actually see people at the same time. I would love to get everybody on a Zoom, but can you imagine 273 people I've got watching this on a Zoom? No one would ever manage to say anything. So I do keep that for some exclusive people on Patreon, just like Sarah. And it was really cool to talk to you, Sarah. Justin is here. He says, hi, Emma. Sorry, I am late. That's completely fine. Emma, did you say Scotch? This is not Scotch. This is squash. This is squash. Joyce says, hi, Emma. Do you think they should only sell balcony cabins until they get back to normal? Absolutely not. I've been booking inside cabins. I'm going to carry on booking inside cabins forever. I love them. There's no reason that they should sell only balcony cabins. I know people are very worried because when all of this stuff happened, some people were quarantined to their cabins. And it's not going to happen anymore. We've seen with the cruises that are cruising now, MSC, Royal Caribbean, sometimes somebody will test positive for coronavirus and they'll just they might quarantine you for the day while you get back to your port, but we're not going to see a situation like we saw on Diamond Princess, which was awful, and people were quarantined for weeks. Don't worry about that. You're not going to see that anymore. They should definitely sell inside cabins because I want to book them. I want to book them. So I hope they carry on with that. Oh, Emma is in here. Hello to Emma. I did not know. It is my business name, says Orkney Parrots. Fun fact, I've never done a super chat before. Well, thank you for letting me be your first I don't know what the name is for someone you give a super chat to, but thank you anyway. It's a really cool business name. I like it. Question, will my cruise on Sky Princess be cancelled in November? I don't know, Edward. You have a chance of it being cancelled, but also you have a chance of it going. I would say don't bet everything on it happening, but also don't give up hope. So 50-50 maybe. Oh, Cliff just booked a Cunard weekend cruise for late spring a few weeks ago, and they just cancelled it. Yes, not good, but they're making way for cruises, and we're actually going to get back cruising again. So it's good in the long term. Same with me and Princess. They cancelled my Princess British Isles cruise to make way for British Isles cruises, which is frustrating. I understand why they did it. I think basically the itineraries that they're going to replace them with will be much shorter. We're not sure if they're going to have ports or not, but still, it is very, very frustrating. I think it's a good move, though, and I do think it is going to help us get back to cruising, which at the end of the day, even though it's not nice right now, it is a good move. And Cunard are doing short breaks. Cunard are doing little breaks around the UK on Queen Elizabeth. So you could always rebook one of those, which I think would be well worth doing. Karen says that Easy Cruise were so orange. I remember watching the TV program. Yes, they had a TV program called Cruise with Stelios. It was called Cruise Line, I think, in different countries. It's very interesting. It's very cool to see it. It goes right through from when they're planning the cruise, buying the cruise, renovating the cruise, going on the first cruise. And I talk about all of that in my next YouTube video. So watch that when it comes out soon. Miles says, hey, Emma, question, will my cruise happen on the 31st of May on MSC? It depends on your cruise, but I would say probably not. MSC have been really slow when it comes to cancelling cruises, even cruises that are pretty much not going to happen. They're one of the last cruise lines to cancel. I don't know why, but almost, no, probably not. I think MSC will do some British Isles itineraries similar to the other cruise lines, but it's unlikely that you've booked one of those cruises that they're going to start with. I think so. Sorry, Miles. Probably not. Do you think all these changes coming out of Southampton will stay to the British Isles or maybe venture out to Europe? I think in the short term, we'll be staying in the British Isles. I think longer, we will venture further away. In the short term, though, I mean, British Isles suits me fine. I have taken a British Isles cruise with Princess. It was amazing. It was so unbelievably good. It was really good. Lou says, do you think you'll try and do a cruise a month now that you're a full-time YouTuber? Lou, if you would like to fund me a cruise per month, I would love that. That would be fantastic. I have the time now. What's the thing? There's like 3 circles. You can only have time, energy, and money. Now I've got the energy and the time, but I need to work on the money bit. But that would be amazing. I'd love that. That would be really good. Do you think cruising will happen before 2022? Yes, I do so much. I'm totally sure. John has a good question. He says, do you think there'll be enough demand to warrant all of these cruise ships doing UK cruises? Yes, so much. I think there's going to be so much demand built up for everybody. I'm hoping that the prices aren't too high, but I think there's going to be so much demand, so much demand. Everybody I know is waiting and ready. Yep, exactly the same thing. Hoping they aren't too expensive. And had a Norway cruise cancelled on Iona. That sounds amazing. I mean, not amazing that it was cancelled, but it sounds amazing that you booked it. Hello. Thank you so much for my super chat. Would you prefer a P&O or Princess? Oh, goodness. I tried to compare these two recently, and it's tricky. I would probably prefer Princess, but I've only been on one P&O cruise, and I like both of them. I like both of them very much. I would say P&O and Princess are pretty similar. P&O is a lot more British. Princess is more American. That's the main difference. The ships are pretty similar. The Princess ships have a lot more swimming pools on them, and I'm a big fan of ships that have 5 or 6 swimming pools. So if you like swimming, Princess for sure. The entertainment, I would say it's slightly busier on a Princess cruise. P&O do have got a lot of stuff going on, but I found my cruise on Britannia to be on the more kind of relaxing side. I would say Princess is slightly busier. P&O, you've got the afternoon tea, the UK plug sockets, you've got British everything, surrounded by British people. I mean, if we're taking British Isles cruises, either way, you're going to be surrounded by British people. But I think for me, Princess I prefer. But I really want to cruise with P&O on Iona, and I have been booking the older P&O ships. So I do like both. I have booked both with my own money. They are both really good. So yeah, some of the kind of older and smaller P&O ships are more traditional, and I'm not really into all of the kind of captain's cocktail night and all of that stuff. So I think that's one reason why I tend to prefer Princess a little bit. It's a little bit less traditional, but both are good. I don't think you can really go wrong with either. They're pretty similar. I'm sorry if I've missed your questions. It is just jumping up and down and all over. And Michael's got a good one. He says, have you ever traveled on the Norwegian Epic? Yes, I have. I like it. People hate this ship because it has a strange bathroom. It has a strange bathroom with a shower in one corner and a toilet in the other. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. It doesn't bother me at all. It was fine. I didn't mind it. The Norwegian Epic feels a little bit higgledy-piggledy, as we would say here in the UK, in that it feels like Norwegian had all of these ideas, and they tried all of these ideas on this ship. Everything. They tried everything. And then the bits that they liked, they carried on to Getaway and Breakaway and kind of the newer ships. Norwegian Epic never got a sister. I feel like they used her as kind of a test space for strange things. But she's a good ship. Yeah, fine. If you can deal with the bathroom situation being a bit strange, which is what people find odd, yeah, a good ship for sure. Gemma says she's just booked with Emma and she was lovely. She is lovely, dangerously lovely, too lovely. Marcus says, question, do you have a Patreon and is it worth it? You'd have to ask my Patreons, and yes, I do have a Patreon. They think it's worth it. I think they would say, because they're in there, but yeah, I like having the Patreon. It's good. Who does the best spring break cruises? We don't really have spring break here in the UK in the same way that you guys do in the US. In the US, spring break seems to be a big thing. And the first cruise line I think of for spring break cruises is Carnival Cruises, the crazy party cruises. I don't know what you really want from a spring break cruise. Are you looking for a spring break kind of, I imagine it's a party, right? I might be kind of out of sync because I'm from the UK. We don't have that so much here. What is your best guess at the cost of a week-long P&O British cruise this summer? I'm hoping that I can get an inside cabin for £100 per night. At that price, I will be happy with that. That's what I'm hoping for. So £100 a night, starting from inside cabin, is where I'm kind of happy. Yeah, Matt raises a good point, saying that what happened on Diamond Princess is like airport security before 9/11. It won't happen again. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Question, I saw Morgan was a guest on Don's channel. Can we get Don on your channel? I really want Don on my channel. Yes, I really do. I will try my best. I'll email him after this if that works. Hopefully it does. Have you heard about the MSC Lyrica on fire in Corfu? Yes, they have put out the fire, thankfully now. Nobody was hurt. It started in a lifeboat, apparently. How you start a fire in a lifeboat, I will never know. But no one is hurt. That is the main thing. Yeah, lots of questions about the prices of UK cruises. And, I mean, at the moment, we just really don't know. We really don't know. Yes, Vicky, the British Isles cruises are just for British citizens. You can't come in and do them. You have to be from Britain to do them, which is good. Have you been to the fjords in April? Is there much difference in weather? Because I've only done it in June. I haven't done it in April. I've done it in June and August. And the week I did in June, we had rain every single day. So I feel like when you cruise to Norway, you're taking a chance no matter when you cruise. April might be, yeah, it might not be great. But then again, my June cruise wasn't great weather. I think you just take it as it comes in Norway. It looks amazing when it rains. It looks mysterious with all of the clouds and everything. So just do it. My mom here says she looks forward to my Patreon-only podcast. Yet my Patreons and my YouTube channel members get a podcast every week, which is everything behind the scenes, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what problems I've had, what I'm planning. I ask everybody for feedback and help with things, and it's good. I like it. It has kind of turned into a little bit of therapy for me at the end of the week. Sit down and be like, this week, this really annoying thing happened, or yeah, it's really good. It's not just me complaining. I promise. I promise. I promise. I'm so jealous of Lou, who is doing, well, he's supposed to be doing a Viking cruise in July, and there's no words about how envious I am. So unbelievably envious. David says, do you think Royal Caribbean will be doing Mediterranean cruises this summer? No. Got to be honest with you, probably not. Probably not. Maybe by the end of the year, if we're lucky. Summer, I think that is pushing it. I think by summer, when we see cruises anywhere, they're going to be local to that place. Like the people who can go on it have to be from that place. I wouldn't be surprised if we see cruises from America where it's only for Americans, or, you know, the list goes on and on. I think it makes sense. It just makes it so much easier. Not necessarily the most fun thing. I know we don't all want to cruise from where we are, but for now, I think it's good. Travel Adventures with Eric B says he's never heard of P&O. P&O are the biggest cruise line here in Britain. They have our flag on the front. They're very, very British. They're good. They're really, really good. Yeah, it's fun. And I will try and cruise with them in summer. I think it will be cool. It's mostly British people on there, but sometimes you'll get the odd Americans. You get the odd Americans. Oh, apologies. I'm skipping up and down the questions. Karen makes a really good point, and I've wondered about this for a while. Are Marella doing any British Isles cruises? So Marella are another British cruise line that we have, and you would think now is a really good time for them to do British cruises, right? Because P&O are, Princess are, MSC probably will, Cunard are, but Marella haven't. They hadn't in their plan got cruises from Southampton this year, I don't think, or next year. They've pretty much moved all of their ships further away, and now it's whether they want to bring them all back. I would think yes, because really, what is there to lose? But then what are we going to do? Because at some point there's going to be so many cruise ships cruising around Britain that we don't have the space in the ports for a start. So I don't know if we'll end up in some strange ports, or we'll have to fight for the ports. I don't know. We have got probably, I think, a record-breaking 294 people in the house. Hello to everybody who is watching this. Thank you so much. Some of you are on Facebook and some of you are on YouTube. Most of you are on YouTube, I think. But I do see the odd Facebook go by. And Mr. No Name says, hi, did I miss anything? You missed, I don't know. So much stuff has happened this week. So much stuff has happened this day. It's been crazy. This is reverse cruise trivia. Ask Emma a question. Yes, it is. It's reverse cruise trivia. Jenny says, I hope they do short UK cruises. It's a great way to try different ships that we've not tried. Yes, for me, I want to get on board and do ship tours. I have a new camera. It's very, very exciting, and I can't wait to try it out. It is a DJI Osmo Pocket 2 for anybody who knows anything about cameras. It's basically like a GoPro, but it stabilizes itself, and it's so, so unbelievably tiny. It's got a really kind of wide angle. It's going to be so good for ship tours. So I'm really looking forward to that. Are the Cunard weekend cruises a good introduction to the full Cunard experience, i.e. the transatlantic experience? Yes, I think they are. You'll probably do one formal night, one informal night maybe on a short Cunard cruise. Even if you're on a Cunard cruise, I think for a couple of hours, you will get the Cunard vibe. I think it will be a good introduction, yes. And my first Cunard cruise was a week long, but it was good. It was really, really good. Just be prepared. Just be prepared. We have another super chat from Ian, and it says, why doesn't Hudson look like a fox on your video? Why doesn't he look like a fox? I think he kind of does look like a little fox. I think he's adorable. You have to tell me that one. I don't know. Bonnie says she was on Facebook and then she switched to YouTube. She's running around following Emma. Oh, my mum would love to go on a short Cunard cruise. Yes, Mum, I will accompany you on there. No questions asked. I will be there. Would you take an excursion if only allowed through the cruise ship, or would you stay on board? It depends, and I would probably do half and half. Some places I wouldn't deem it worth doing an excursion, and I love being on the ship when everybody else is off, but I wouldn't want to stay on the ship the entire time if I could do some excursions. So I probably would do half and half. A good question from Scott. Does anyone have the total count on how many cruises have been cancelled since last March? Not a clue. That would be a huge number. Huge, huge, huge. Do Princess do any solo deals? Would love to try them out this year for British Isles Cruise. I don't know that they do. They're not one of my cruise lines that comes to mind when I think about solo cruising. Their cabins, they do have solo cabins, but they're normal cabins, just solo cabins. They don't really have any, they don't have solo areas. They'll probably do solo meetups. But as far as solo deals go, not really. The thing that Princess do that's amazing is they will have a price for a cruise and then they'll have a very cheap price for the third and fourth passenger. If you can squish 4 people into a cabin and share the saving, it can be unbelievably cheap. Sometimes the third and fourth passenger will cruise for £200, maybe $300, something like that. And if you can do that on a 2-week cruise and you can share that saving, that's really, really good. So I would say I haven't really seen any. But you should so try Princess. You totally should. Totally should. Yeah, I mean, we have so many ports here in the UK that we can cruise to, but I just worry about how they're going to fit in the ports. Because if every cruise line from the UK is deciding to do British Isles cruises, are they going to fit? I don't know. I've suddenly got like, there's 305 people watching, and for some reason that feels like a lot, and it's making me a bit more nervous. I think I got settled into 200 was fine. 308, I feel like, yeah, thank you for coming. I don't want to scare you away. Please stay. Please stay. Here we have our King Spud. He has been named King Spud by my Patreons, and his name is John. And thank you, John, for your super sticker. I decided to call my Patreons my Spuds because of the, I don't know, the potato jokes, and they nominated John as King Spud. So King Spud right here. Thank you, King Spud. Do you think the 2022 World Cruises will have restricted ports? Probably yes. I know 2022 feels like it's far away, but it really, really isn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it was changed, and quite considerably. So yeah, 2023, I think it'll be much more normal, but 2022, sorry. I wish I could give you better news, Karen, but I don't think I can. Don't think I can. Gran Canaria Morgan is joining a TUI cruise. Yes, he's cruising again. He's cruised so many times. I'm so unbelievably envious. Unbelievably envious. Gosh, he's so lucky. If you're not already subscribed to Morgan's very unofficial travel guides, definitely do it. It'll make you like, I don't know, it makes you happy, but then also you're full of envy. And hopefully soon I can cruise and you can watch my videos. And if you're not cruising, maybe you'll feel the same way. Oh, Tracy said, just switched from Facebook on my iPad to YouTube on my TV. Oh, it's so scary. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad I can't see you, because if I saw 312 people on my screen, I'd be absolutely terrified. I'm so much more chilled out talking to 312 people about cruising on the internet than in my day job. If I had to do a presentation to 6 people, I would be freaking out for days. My heart would be so high. But YouTube, feels very safe. This is my channel. I've got my moderators in the chat. Thank you guys, looking after things and keeping them all nice. So this is my favorite corner of the internet. The internet can be quite scary, but I like it here with you guys. You have booked Royal Princess. Good choice straight away. Royal Princess is amazing. In Australia in November, do you think it happened? No, not at all. Australia is closed pretty much to cruising, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So if you're not from Australia and you're planning to go to, no, almost 0% chance. If you're from Australia, still not a high chance, but I guess higher. Yeah, Australia's being very anti-cruise at the moment. I really hope that you guys in Australia and New Zealand, you do get a cruise soon. Do you think my wedding cruise, I really wanted to go ahead, will sail on Enchanted Princess out of Rome on July 10th? Almost no. Very, very, very unlikely. July, I don't see any cruises in July that aren't really tiny, limited people on their cruises. I know July, where are we? March, April, May, June, July. Sorry, I wish I could say yes. I really don't think so. Yeah, I wish I could. I would love to just say yes, but I don't want to lie. I don't think so. I think it's quite unlikely. Sorry. Well, Phil raises a good question. Will cruise lines be able to open up their bars well inside the 5-mile limit? If so, duty will be required, so prices will go up. Or will they go into international waters? That's not something I really thought about at the moment. Again, good question. Sometimes when you're on a cruise ship, so say I take a cruise from Miami, when I get a drink and I'm in Miami, you have to pay some sort of duty fees in Miami. And then when you sail away, you don't have to pay it. So it makes drinks more expensive when you're docked. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Interesting though. Alex says, have you been on the new MSC ships? What are your thoughts? The newest MSC ship I've been on is the MSC Meraviglia, who is definitely one of the newer cruise ships. And I love that ship. That ship is one of my favorite cruise ships, hands down. I haven't done the kind of seaside class yet, and I would love to cruise on them. But the MSC Meraviglia, Grandiosa, Virtuosa, they're all pretty much the same. Love those ships. They're some of my favorite. Just as a ship, can't beat them. They're lovely. There's so much outside space. They're so sparkly and clean and just feels very spacious and nice. Kevin says, what is your favorite Mediterranean port to explore? If I was right now to be just taken to a port, I'd probably go to Barcelona because there's so many things to do there, so many places to wander around. It's so easy. And I know it quite well and it's cool. I like going to Genoa too because I've been there so many times that I know where I'm going. But I wouldn't say no to any port right now, I don't think. I think I'd cruise anywhere. I think I would. Oh, I skipped down a whole bunch of questions. Sorry, you guys. YouTube does tell me sometimes I can put you guys into slow mode and then not let you comment for a while. But that sounds really, really mean. And that would be just not fun. With Royal requiring upcoming cruisers from Israel to be vaccinated, do you think we'll see this within other cruise lines? I wouldn't be surprised if we do. I think the cruise lines would prefer it to be on the places as opposed to the actual cruise line. So say we're cruising from the UK to Norway. Royal Caribbean would prefer Norway to be the one that says you need a vaccine rather than Royal Caribbean. But if not, I could see it happening. I don't see why it wouldn't. Obviously, for people who can't have the vaccine or don't want it for whatever reason, it's not ideal. But I feel like in the short term, like the very short term, like 2021, it may be. There's no reason why they can't put that into place for 2021 and then take it away. I think only time will tell, but we're all waiting, especially here in the UK, for our British Isles cruises to be announced. Will we need vaccines for them? Because I'm right at the end of the list, of course, because I'm 27 now. Keep forgetting, but I'm 27 now. And I also forgot my cup of tea over there. I'm the worst. But being 27, that of course means I'm right at the bottom of the list for the vaccine, which is fine, but I really want it. We'll have to wait and see, I think, for vaccines on cruises, though. When do you think P&O will start? I think they're announcing their cruises in, I think, next week, very, very soon. I think they'll probably start in maybe August or September time, the end of summer. I know they can cruise from May, but I don't think they're going to cruise from May. I think they need to get their crew for a start. They need to train. If they use Iona, no one has worked on Iona as a functional ship yet, so there's so much work to do. Which European cruise would you recommend for an American who's never cruised in Europe? The first one that I always say is do the classic week-long Mediterranean cruise. Do it from Barcelona, do it from Genoa, do the loop around the Mediterranean because you visit a different country every single day. And that's really cool. And some of the places there, they're just so different from each other. You can wander off, you can do your own thing, you can take public transport. It's so easy. And you see so much. I mean, I love doing Baltic cruises. I love doing Canary Island cruises to Norway. But there's not as much diversity, I suppose, as in the Mediterranean. If you do a Baltic cruise, it's amazing, but it is history, it is culture, it is walking tours. And I know a lot of people don't necessarily cruise for that. I love it. I think it's brilliant. And it could rain every single day. But I would recommend for a first cruise, if you've never been to Europe, do a Mediterranean cruise, do a week-long classic loop. There's so many cruise lines that loop around the Mediterranean, and I don't think you can really go wrong with that. So that would be my recommendation. You mentioned you took your first cruise when you were 11. How many cruises were you on as a teenager, and where did you go? I took a cruise as a teenager every kind of 2 or 3 years. I can't exactly remember how old I was for certain cruises, but I took a Baltic cruise when I was 13. I think I was 13 on my Baltic cruise. So when I was 11, I took a cruise to Alaska and Hawaii. That was my first cruise. What a way to start. And then a couple of years later, I took a Baltic cruise when I think I was 13, maybe. Then I forget that I feel like I'm still a teenager. I know I'm not. I'm 27 now. But yeah, I did a Bahamas cruise. I cruised to Bermuda. I just can't remember how old I was when I was a teenager. Didn't have my cruise head on right there. I'm sure my mum will know. My mum's in the chat. Which cruise line is your #1 favorite? I don't have a #1 favorite for a cruise line because it depends so much. Where am I going? Who am I going with? What are the people I'm going with like? If I take a cruise and I really want it to be really informal, it's just going to be very, very different. I have many cruise lines that are my favorite. I've never been on a cruise with any cruise line that I didn't like. If it's just me booking a cruise for myself with my money, I'll probably book a Princess cruise, a Marella cruise, a Norwegian cruise. But I like an MSC cruise. I like a P&O cruise. If I had all the money in the world, I would cruise with Viking. But I wouldn't always want to cruise with Viking. Sometimes I'd want to cruise with Royal Caribbean. So it's impossible. Impossible question. Never found a cruise that I didn't like. My mum says the MSC Opera as a teenager. Yeah, we did. It was kind of just Northern Europe, and it was rainy kind of cruise. I don't remember that one too much, to be honest with you. The MSC Opera was not as good as the MSC Meraviglia that I've cruised on more recently. Matt says, did my mum know that at the time, the deep impact of taking me on a cruise would literally change my life? I'm sure she didn't realize that at all. I didn't realize that. I mean, I had no intention of starting a cruise blog or cruise website when I was cruising. Not at all. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was an option. And I didn't even when I started, I didn't know it was an option, but I tried. And I carried on for years and years and years. And now we're here and there's 291 people listening to me talk about cruises, which is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, my gran paid for my first ever cruise. My mum didn't pay for it. It was a big family cruise. So it was my gran, my parents, my auntie, my uncle, my aunties and uncles and cousins and loads of people on this cruise because my gran paid for it. And thankfully she did, because I don't know if mum and dad would have considered taking me on a cruise if it wasn't for that. But we had such a good time that we did it kind of every 2 or 3 years after that, which was really good. And I loved it because I would go to the teen clubs, I would go to the kids clubs, I would hang out in the hot tubs with my new friends, and it felt very, very cool at the time. I'm sure I was very, we would sit on the stairs and stuff, and I look back now and I think I was those annoying kids that were just in the way. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I think I don't know what the British Isles cruises are going to do in terms of crew. That's something that they need to work out and work out pretty soon. Oh my goodness, we have Don here. Don, you must have noticed that people were talking about you because we need to get you on my chat, please. I know you're a very, very busy man, but it would be so good to talk to you at the same time. I've watched so many of your videos and you're here now, so you've seen me talking, but whenever I go into any of my YouTube analytics, it's like your audience also watches, and it's just Don and Tony, Don and Tony, Don and Tony, Don and Tony, which I'm flattered that the same people who watch Don and Tony would watch my channel. But yeah, Don, we need you. Please, I'll send you an email after this because that'd be really, really cool. Thank you for answering all my questions. Keep up the good work. I'm trying my best. I feel really bad when I miss the questions. And the thing about YouTube is I can't really go back after the live stream and reply to all the questions. And it just gets crazy. But I love doing these live streams. I'm so glad that we started them a year ago now. It's crazy, crazy to think about it. Crazy. Yeah, Sean says, great, Don. We've been campaigning to get you on the Emerald channel. Yes, he has been doing that. Right, guys, we have managed to talk for an entire hour. Amazingly, the fastest hour of the week for sure. you should see as soon as I get out of this live stream, I'm wearing my normal clothes now because I'm presentable, I'm on the internet, and then it's straight into my big hoodie blanket, and I'll sit here with my cup of tea, and it'll be amazing. Don says, just need to ask. I've told you that, lol. Okay, sorry, Don. I'll send you an email after this, and we can work our schedules together. If that works, that sounds awesome. If Sherry popped in now, it would be the best day ever. I did talk to Sherry recently. I love Sherry from Cruise Tips TV. Okay, so I will be back same time, same place next week. Thank you all so much for joining me. I have put the link in the chat to the fundraiser for Sean. If you do want to donate, it should be pinned somewhere, or if not, I will send it to you later. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you all, and have a great weekend. Weekend now. Bye, everybody. Oh, and yeah, the fire is fine. The fire is fine. The MSC Lyrica, they've put out the fire. No one was hurt. The fire is fine. Bye, everybody.